All right. I think we're good. Don't think we need to do any clapping. All right. So, let's get into it. Hey, everybody. This is Carl with the Redacted Debunker. Today, we're going to look at some Mindseed TV. And the video is called Extremely Haunted Hotel with some very dark secrets. Yeah, I kind of doubt that. But what we're going to do is going to look at it. I have not seen this video before, so I'm going to kind of debunk it live and go through my thought process on this. So thanks everybody for watching, and let's get into it. And lights and Ouija board.
That's not cool.
That's a cool insert. I'll just on the backwards talking voices. Those are always scary.
When people
right?
think of the Wild West, they don't usually think of a town called Pioche. Pioche is a ghost town located in the deserts of Las Vegas that has seen more deaths by violent crimes than any other western towns upon first being established. Currently, the entire city population count is under 1,000, and most buildings are abandoned and out of business. However, there is one small hotel that remains and has been labeled haunted by many of the locals for decades.
All right.
Tonight, we'll be spending the night in the most haunted room of this hotel to see if we could capture any paranormal activity on camera and bring it to you.
This place looks familiar.
So this hotel has been explored by many ghost hunters. We like seeing if all this stuff is real, so we decided we're gonna go ahead and take a visit.
That's a short intro for them. Usually they go much further into detail.
The fucking knob is like coming off. We're in the Victorian suite. And this place is crazy looking.
Even when I spoke to a maintenance man that said he's been working there for 20 plus years, he knew all the stories, and he had stories of death.
Oh no.
I wonder if they, it sounded like for a second there they bleeped out his, the word. What I'm assuming he was trying to say was self-harm. You know, YouTube has a lot of rules that we have to play by, and one of them is that you can't say that stuff. And also, let me make sure of my settings. Yeah, we can go better quality than that. There we go.
Oh no.
All right, let's see. So I wondered, did they get the whole hotel, or did they just get like their room? We'll see.
Here's another one, another friend.
Yeah. Why so many angels in the room?
Even the lights, like the bed frames.
Yeah. This is a weird room. Dude, this is old.
Is there anything on the back?
I don't know. We can open it. That's got to be 100 years old.
Let me feel if it's real.
Whoa.
Or it's
Oh no, that's a photograph.
a replica.
real.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh no!
All right, these guys, like, it's stuff like this. So that's put there so that if there's any ever damage to the picture, you're not trying to find the negative so that you could reprint it. So that's not unusual. If you hold it up to the light, I can guarantee you that it's going to be that picture.
My God, dude.
Here.
Wait, let's put the light.
Yeah.
Oh, that's the whole family, bro. That's the real.
That's the whole family. It's a
Get a
picture.
little less direct on there. There you go. Yo.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
That's so sick. There's words.
Is it?
Yeah.
It's about the picture.
We got a whole thing here.
She was only Tracy, first girl standing on the left, Grandma sitting on the right.
I mean, it's cool, but it's not. It's like they're making it out to be like it's
Maybe
bigger
that's
than
the
it really
activity
is.
that's been going on in here. Maybe it's some of them.
let's look at them again.
So that's Tracy. Right? That's Grandma.
Is that Grandma?
That's Grandma.
Wow, damn.
That's insane.
That's sick.
That's history right there. What a great find.
Yeah,
Within
no,
the first,
for
like,
reals.
5 minutes being
Absolutely.
here, you know? You think this has any meaning? I know. These X's and dots? 2 X's and 8 dots is what's right there. I think it's 8. How many people were in that picture? Because that's 10. What are the 2 X's? You know, I don't know if it has any meaning.
Oh, those are the 8, and then the
And
X's
2
represent.
X's are dead.
Yeah,
Maybe that's Grandma and Aunt Tracy, because those are the
Past.
only ones named. Yeah,
and that's activity people feel in here.
could be. Let's check.
I hope we hear a girl's voice on the box. Too.
Yeah. Actually,
see
you know,
how many we got.
for the
Okay, it's
photographs,
11.
it's a really good idea.
Dots here too.
I've never
Oh,
thought
I
of
see
that
that.
before.
See those dots? You
Like
get
putting
it
your
on
negative in the picture frame so that
Yeah, there's dots there.
you never lose it.
That's weird.
How many?
But I guess also too, if you lost the picture, you can
6, 7, 8.
the negative. And
Okay.
it's both gone at
Just
the
an
same
old
time.
town, man.
Definitely. Oh, check this out. See this? History of Pioche.
Another crazy thing we discovered was a sheet with a history of the town. Violent deaths accounted for 72 graves in Boot Hill before a citizen of Pioche died of natural causes.
Wow. 72 graves from violence before natural.
Dude,
That's a lot of bro.
now I'm thinking,
Okay,
where's
let's read this because
Boot Hill?
the fame of Pioche's rich mines was matched by the disrepute. That's a weird word because I want to say desperate of its crime. Most offenses generally went unpunished. The frequency of murder alone made Pioche notorious for frequent gunplay. The excessive amount... That was weird. This piece of plastic fell. It actually kind of scared me. The frequency of murder alone made notorious for frequent gunplay, blah, blah, blah. Fraud and killings made guns the only law and reliable legend. What does reliable legend mean? So reliable made up stories? Okay. Wow. Reliable legend. Insists they do put it in quotes. So there's that. It's just that violent deaths accounted for 72 graves in Boot Hill before a citizen of Pioche died of natural causes. All right. The most famous outlaw buried in Boot Hill is Morgan Courtney. Okay. So I do have some issues with this whole document here. I mean, there are some... What they're basically saying is that out of, I don't know if I can do that math in my head, but 98 out of 100, only 2 people would have died of natural causes. 98. Now it's much more than that. It's like 1.2 people. It's would have died. So the really interesting thing is that natural causes is a very interesting way of dying. I don't have the exact numbers. I've never really looked into it before, but something that's always interested me is this idea of people that die of natural causes. Because natural causes would be anything outside of self-harm or murder or dying of the cold. And during this time period, you would have had like a flu would have come through and wiped out, half of a population, or could have. I'm not saying it did, but it could have. Right. So natural causes is old age, dying in your sleep kind of thing. But most people, I think even today, die of something like a heart attack or cancer or something like that. So it's just weird. Now, I know I'm taking some time on this to look at this, but it's things like this that when you go to a supposed haunted location and they are priming you with information that makes a place seem more violent or have more death than actually existed, I have problems with those locations. We've seen some other ones too where there's like thousands of Ouija boards around, or Raggedy Ann dolls, Conjuring House, those kind of things. All right. So like, I just, if the place is haunted, it should stand alone. There shouldn't be anything there that is making you feel one way or adding to how scary the place is. It should stand alone. That's my opinion. But anyways, I just wanted to read this real quick here because it doesn't seem any better or worse than any other place that would have been a gold town. So, broken silence. The letters are off center too.
Bro.
It's kind of bugging me.
Is that from in here?
Yeah, it's coming from this corner.
OCD
up
ghost
here.
is kicking in.
What is that noise? It's like, it sounds like a humming, right?
I don't hear anything.
It almost sounds like breathing.
What the?
Is it coming from in here?
No, it's out here stronger.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm really curious now if they got the whole place.
If there's anybody here that would like to communicate, can you please? Did you get that?
Yes. When we went to the room that led to the bathroom, we had a EMF detector go off, so that's the reason we decided to actually set up the spirit box in that room.
If there's anybody here that would like to communicate, can you please?
Okay. So we
You
got
get
spirit
that?
box.
Yes.
All right. What sounded like voices, but you couldn't hear. Oh my God. It's the same box that everybody uses.
What's that? It's always difficult when you're using the spirit box. Sometimes you hear things, but you don't hear every syllable. You don't hear every piece of the word.
Right, because let's dissect what he just said. That when you're listening to the spirit box, you don't get to hear every syllable or of every word, and there's a reason for that. Is because it's what you're hearing is radio. So this is a radio. Well, actually, I was going to say it's a radio of something, but it's not. It's a radio. That's it. And what it does is it goes through the waves of radio frequency, which would pick up radio, like coming from a radio transmitter, like FM and even AM. So the issue that I have with these things is that they're not set to go outside of the range of a radio broadcast that you could pick up in your car. So this machine is the equivalent of you quickly going through radio frequencies, right? And a little quick history on these things too, or the way that radio works is, let's say that you are wanting to listening to your radio station, and let's say it's 99.5. I'm just pulling a random number up here, okay? If you go to 99.6 and possibly 99.7, you're still going to hear the radio. It's not exactly at 99.5. It could also go to 91.1. So from 99.1 to 2 to 3 to 4 to 5 to 6 to 7. So you get 10 frequencies spread. So if this thing is going by every 0.1 frequency, it's got 10 stops of a radio broadcast, which would be enough time to get syllables of words. And if you ever heard, like, some of them, you hear commercials where they're talking about call signs or like, come eat our famous Bob's Burger or whatever it is, and you'll hear burger, and it's like, oh, it said burger. It's like, no, it said burger. It's an advertisement. And it's just, when it comes back around again, you're going to hear the other part of it, because it's eventually going to go through again. When he says in this that we're only getting like syllables of words, these are not spirit words. These are radio words. These are words coming from a radio station, and you're not catching all of it because it's chopping it up. That's it. There's nothing special about this. And this is also a programmed device. So the the frequency hit, however amount of time that it's sitting at a certain frequency is all built into this thing. So the idea that a ghost or spirit could manipulate a pre-programmed device is kind of laughable. If there was a kind of built-in dial that, let's just say EMF, because I still disagree that ghosts are EMF, but let's just say they are, that an EMF could actually kind of tune it, that would be different. But this thing is only just getting radio stations, like pop, 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 pop. So it's just using your interpretation of those words for the meaning of what's around you. It's the same thing as the spirit talkers and everything else. They're just priming you for your interpretation of the words and nothing to do with spirit activity. My opinion.
Murdered.
Which is not what it said. I mean, hell, it could have. It could have been someone on the radio saying murder.
Is that blood right there?
That's not blood.
Someone said that's not blood. Did you hear that?
No.
I'm gonna have to,
Didn't hear
I'll play it
nothing
back
of
to you,
that
man.
sounded
That's
like
something
that.
that's not blood.
I don't know what that is. I don't want to touch it. I know that.
Yeah.
Oh my God, are they really thinking that that's blood? It's
That we're here?
a dirty hotel room, dude.
Someone could have easily got murdered in this room. No problem. You know what I mean?
And then this is spot.
Yeah.
Okay. So here's the other thing too, is that there's a few things going on. One, and I'm bad with these kind of words, but it's the concept that you can be conditioned into hearing words that don't actually exist. It's like pareidolia, I think is the word, or something like that, or does that have to do with faces? But it's the same thing, right? It's that our brain is doing multiple things just sitting around. One is it's looking for faces. Two is it's looking for words in things that are not words.
It sounds more like manly.
It does.
Yeah.
I'm hearing more man voices coming through for sure.
Are you one of the men in the photo from next door? Is your body in Boot Hill Cemetery?
That's a good one. You hear that? What the bro?
I've investigated a lot of places and I have seen movement before. I've never seen something as deliberate as the movement of that door. It just caught us both so off guard.
God. Oh, I never noticed it. Okay.
Anytime that we catch any kind of movement,
So let's go back a little bit. I am curious about something. No, they're not going to show. Okay. So what I was going to say is that this is the door to the bathroom, and the door might have a self-closing hinges on it that are broken. The door that's literally, I can see it right over here. It has those as well, and they get stuck sometimes. And so oftentimes, I've got the door wide open. They work better when they're wide open versus when they're slightly shut. So like the more you open them, the more like you're winding up that spring in there. So when it's barely open, it just kind of like barely moves. And if they're broken, you can wind them all. You can like push the door all the way open, and they'll just sit there, because they're not that great. So it could be that. It's also kind of looks like a thick carpet too, so it could be kind of holding the door back. Don't know. that would be part of an investigation that, personally, if I was there, I would have checked out. The weird thing, too, is that door doesn't look like it has a lock and it's a bathroom. That's weird to me. But, okay.
Anytime that we catch any kind of movement on camera, it's always a big deal. There's no explanation as to how that door moved on its own. We had our team behind the scenes analyze the video and go over it several times.
Right. And that's a problem. You're after the fact, you're looking at the video. But it would be something that happens there that you need to look at, not on the video. So you guys didn't investigate it, and I have.
And they actually captured something that I missed in editing. Not only did they conclude that the door closing was hostile, they found an image of what appeared.
Sorry, the door closing was hostile?
Appears to be a maid disappearing into thin air as we turn the camera. Take a look.
We'll see it. Let's see what they're showing. I'm
if
excited.
you look to the left side of Tanner's head as we turn right here, a white figure appears just for a second and then disappears into thin air. Now, if we pause the frame, you can see what looks like almost the top shoulders of a maid's outfit.
Nope. No. That is not what that is. That is you moving your camera too much, and all of that noise is your indicator that his head is also disintegrating too. You know what? Let's just accept. Yeah, that's a maid right there. That is a ghost maid, and everything in this picture is exactly what you're seeing. So Thanos snapped this whole picture halfway out of existence. Part of his head is starting to disintegrate. You can see through his head. You can see that his eye and I think that's his eyebrow is now being smeared to halfway through his body, right? The door frame is disintegrating, and the darkness isn't really darkness. It's made out of bees, because that's what it looks like. These look like bees on the screen. This is camera compression issues. You have a crappy camera. You're not using night vision. You're using low light, low lux. So the ISO is cranked up, which means you're going to get artifacting and you're going to get these streaks. That is not a ghost. Stop it.
And a face looking back over its
I'm sorry. No, that is not a face. How is that a face? That is a green smear with a little bit of red smears below a white smear. Maybe I gotta blur my eyes. There we go. Let's try that. We're gonna blur our eyes here, guys. Okay, we're gonna go. Nope. Now it's just a hard to see green smear with a hard to
shoulder.
This is ridiculous.
Watch how it disappears.
Yeah. Get your camera caught up. Hold on. I also want to show you that too. So remember, everything you're seeing is real. Everything you're seeing, look at his face. I believe that that's how this guy really looks. I believe it. I think that this is how this guy really looks. I think this is what light bulbs do too, that they become like eggs. So, God forbid. Look at his face. And you're telling me that that there's a ghost. Look at that. Look at that. And what is this? Why didn't they see this ghost? Because that could be a ghost too. I'm thinking that's the ghost shoulders. And his head's right up there. Oh, there's another head there. Oh my
God. Holy shit.
So I want to know, are they going to investigate?
Did you feel anything pass by you or no?
No.
I didn't either. So I think
But
whatever.
I was concentrating on the questions.
Yeah, no. But I mean, like, whatever just moved that might still be here. You know what I'm saying? Because I didn't feel anything go by me.
Check the door.
Could be.
Go check the door. Not there. I want you to look at the hinge. Show me the hinge. not going to show me the hinge.
If you're here, show us something.
Because you guys don't actually want to prove or disprove it. Show me the hinge. So the question was the door was more in and then opened up. So it wasn't like it was closed and opened. It was full open. And
nuts.
Almost saw it. Maybe. It actually looks like one right there. I think that's it right there. That's a self-closing hinge. I'm fairly certain that's a self-closing hinge. I could be wrong, but that looks like a self-closing hinge on the top to me. You see how it's big? It's like really big. Yeah. That's what that is. And then it's got the top and bottom part to it. Yeah, let's even get a... And see how this it's a little smaller and it doesn't have the top and bottom? I think that's a closing.
Wild, bro.
There's no way for us to know.
I don't
I
know.
think they're on the fence if they want to talk to us or not.
Yeah. What I was saying was like the crazy is that spirit boxes, even when you're not getting something coming through, sometimes it just triggers activity.
Yeah.
Because it's like they know you're trying to communicate, and it makes them come out a little. That's what I've noticed.
It takes a little time.
Put your camera still
For them
on.
to like ease into.
Yeah. We could try the thermal sweep. I got the.
That's what curious too. I was hoping to see like what are the buttons on there. A strange pulse.
Check it out. Yeah. Cool. So you can definitely see it picks up heat. All right. So we'll do the sweep. Check the beds.
And we also got to remember too how these things work. I'm hoping he holds the thing still enough so I can look at the screen. So this one, he looks like he might have it locked to a certain temperature. But he can't hold it still
Picking
enough.
up cold
No,
in this area.
it's not cold. It's not cold. He's got it set wrong. There, I got it. Okay. So, why? So he's adjusted this thing badly. So all of these work in gradients of temperature. And, yeah, I'm nitpicking, but the nitpicking is important for research. And if you don't have a system of control, then the research, any evidence is got to be thrown away. So the way that thermal cameras work is that on the screen, there's usually two temperatures. One is whatever the extreme cold is that it's seen, and whatever the extreme hot is that it's seen. And then it uses those extremes for the temperature at the like on the bottom. You can actually see the color gradient between the light blue and white hot, what you call white hot. So in a lot of thermal, they use white as heat, and even in the black and white where they're not using the color gradients. And this is almost that's what this is. I think this is actually a false color gradient. So typically they're just like you can see it like you're looking at military thermal and you see they either do black hot or they do white white hot, depending if it's the day or the night, right? The white hot doesn't mean that it's super hot. It just means that it's hotter than everything else on the screen. And the reason why this is important is that if you were looking for a person and they were outside, and let's say it was a 98 degree temperature outside, it would all look the same color. It would all be, yellow or whatever, if there was no temperature differences. So what it does is it says, okay, well, the outside might be 90, but we need a person, which is going to be 98 or 96 or whatever the temperature is whenever, you know, you deal with this thing. So that 6 degree temperature difference or 2 degree temperature difference will show up on this wide spectrum of color, where they'll show up as red or yellow and everything else will be blue, even though it's 98 degrees. Now, having said that, what his thing is picking up is that whatever is the hottest is 130 degrees Fahrenheit. So I don't know what he has in that room that would register as 130 degrees Fahrenheit, but you can see it. It's right there, 130.2 degrees Fahrenheit. Or maybe it's a 2. It doesn't matter. It's way too hot for whatever's in that room, which means that if you were walking around the room, everything's going to be blue because it's going to be colder than that temperature that is set. I feel like he's locked the temperature at 130 degrees, which would show everything being blue, which means it would show it being cold, which is why he's showing, oh my God, there's a cold spot here. It's not. That right there could be 98 degrees Fahrenheit and showing blue. And because we can't also see, I think what you're going to see is at the bottom, there's another, what looks like 2 more temperatures, because I see F at the end of both of those. What this could be, and I don't know this model, is that whatever he's pointing at is the temperature that's up there. So he's pointing at something that's 130 degrees Fahrenheit, which doesn't seem right to me. I think this thing's broken. But typically at the bottom, you would see the lowest temperature and the highest temperature. And then you can use the gradient over there to determine the approximate temperatures of everything in the room. I don't think it's a cold spot. I think this is something that's in the 80s or even 90s degrees. But that's why I kept trying to freeze frame it on this thing.
See that?
Oh, I saw it for a second. Almost got it. Because that's really going to tell you.
See that?
There it is, right there. Oh my God. So he has... Why is he doing this? All right, so what he has this manually set. He's not setting this as automatic. So okay, so think about the gradient that he has on the screen from the dark blue to the bright white and all the colors in between. The dark blue is 136 degrees Fahrenheit. So think about that. The max is 165 degrees Fahrenheit. He has set it to that instead of corresponding to what's in the room. The blue is 121 degrees Fahrenheit. What is going on in that room? Why is it set for 165 as the max temperature? That makes no sense to me whatsoever. Okay, again, I have to look this up because this is super important. Camera, All right, let's get a picture. Yeah, I mean, that's... Oh, no. Go back. No, go back. Why is it doing this? There, let's try images. What I'm looking for is a picture of what a thermal imaging scale looks like. Yeah, here's a good one right there. All right, this is in Celsius, and this one is an automatic one. So it doesn't matter what's on this thing, and it's irrelevant. What we're looking at is the scale on how these things work, right? So what it's showing you is what's on the dot is 35 degrees Celsius, which is warm. That's actually pretty hot. the max temperature, which is everything in this red, is 35.7 degrees Celsius, and the cold is 31.7 degrees Celsius. And so, and just because when you say cold, it's reference to what it's pointing at, not what is actually cold to you. It's cold to the thermal camera. Because 31 Celsius. Right. So this here, this cold is 87 degrees Fahrenheit. So it is not cold. It is just colder than the 35 degrees Celsius. So that's it. So I don't understand why whatever he's pointing at is 121 degrees Fahrenheit. But everything above it over here is 165 degrees Fahrenheit. Oh, no, it's not 165. I see. So it goes red. So if you were to put these in between, it's about 150 degrees. So that's 150 degrees Fahrenheit. What the hell are they in? Is he pointing it at the LEDs outside? That could be what it is. Yeah, so it's 119. See, 120, 121.
That's just weird looking.
115 degrees. Like, it is not cold.
Figure, you see that?
Yeah, I wonder.
118.
I mean, as
What are
we
you pointing at? Oh.
Is it the radiator?
Just nowhere.
nowhere.
Yeah.
Like that's like literally like
Like there.
yeah, like
Yeah,
right
yeah.
there. Yeah. Let's check the beds when we get closer.
Okay. No, see, he moves it to the
There's a
match.
black spot there.
On the bed?
Oh, you know what
Oh,
that
no.
is? That's the window.
Okay.
Because it's cold outside.
Okay. Yeah, that makes
So-
sense.
Yeah. But you have it set wrong because it shows that it being 115 degrees Fahrenheit.
What it's doing is it's detecting that everything here is warmer than out there, and that might be the other window.
And that's why
Why
everything's
is
red
it so
too,
mad?
'cause it
Why
does,
is
like,
it
a
showing
contrast.
120
Look,
degrees?
See up there, it looks like the window, but I don't know what's cold down here. Let's get closer to that. So yeah, here's the window, right?
Yep.
That's window. But what was down here? What is that? Right
I
there.
still don't understand these numbers here. Is he amplifying it?
That's what I want to know. What's cold right here? Oh, maybe that looks like an outline of the table.
Yeah.
Right there.
Oh yeah, definitely. Around it.
But then it's cold here.
On the
Because
wall?
the walls would be
Yeah,
cold because
Why
it's
is
an
that
outside wall.
cold? There's a cutout right here.
It is a little.
Yeah, it's cold.
You know, it's warm in this room, so.
And again, remember that just because it's cold doesn't mean that it's cold to your touch. It just means it could be a degree, 2 degrees colder than where the thing is pointing.
And it's not cold here. Maybe this is like a piece of wall that was like put up cheap.
Yeah, it's not insulated well.
Yeah.
And then that's where your
insulated.
heat's coming from, is because you got a radiator right there. Oh my god, that's why it's showing
Hot spike in the bed.
that. But
See that?
Yeah.
it's a really bad thermal camera. The fact that it's showing 135 degrees in the bed.
I don't think
is
that's
so weird
accurate.
to me.
I think I need to calibrate it,
Okay.
but it's definitely getting a hot spike right there in the bed. That's legit. Can you show
You're
me?
not. It's not hotspot.
Just to show them where we're at.
Look at your numbers. So, yeah. And see, the numbers are really throwing me off right here because what he's pointing at is 180 degrees and it's 171 of the white hot. So, what that means is that there's a bigger temperature differential over on the side. It's not that your bed is hot, it's just hotter than the wall next to it. These guys really need to learn their equipment. They really need to understand how this stuff works. See, it's not going to be hot to your touch. It's going to be room
Tell
temperature.
the difference there, but it's kind of weird.
It's
I
going
don't
to
see
be
an outline
ambient.
of a figure, do you?
Mm-mm.
Oh my bad.
Just a small spot right there.
It is
It's like
not a...
almost pulsing too.
Yeah, weird. Getting bigger. And then going away.
Yeah. maybe it's worth watching for a minute. You know, maybe maybe it'll morph into something. I've had that happen.
Okay.
I've had times where like there's a spot on the couch and it starts morphing. Do you see how big that just got?
Yeah.
It's pulsing, right? You see it?
Yeah, and getting warmer.
Let's just get through this.
It's weird. Let me see the light real quick.
That's a bad thermal camera.
Just touch my wrist. There you go.
It's not only pulsing, but it also says that it's 140 degrees on your pillow. Fahrenheit.
It's like disappearing the closer I get. It's definitely right there. Hey, you called dibs on this bed, right?
Yeah, no,
Cool.
this is me, yeah.
Yeah,
It's gonna be nice and warm. It's gonna be 140 degrees in there.
All right. Well, we have one test left.
Alright.
We got a Ouija board.
Alright.
People are against it. People hate it.
Yeah.
But I look at it as just one more test. You know.
Yeah.
So we
It's
can
not
set
a
up
test,
the board. There's a little
but
table
it's
in
okay.
there. Look, we could try to set it up like right here.
Alright.
And,
What's the test
get you
compared
with
to?
it.
What is a
Oh,
control
yeah. All right,
for a
I
Ouija
thought we
board?
put
Not
it back
doing the
up.
Ouija
Yeah,
board?
we could set up right here.
Cool.
And we'll just run it and see if anything happens.
Yeah,
How do you how do you run an experiment on a Ouija board?
Here we go. We're gonna give the Ouija board a shot. We got the old photo next to us. There's been some things going down in here, so I promise you that I'm not moving it. You promise you're not gonna move it? Promise. If we get any kind of movement, it's legit. Got it? Alright, let's do it. So we're gonna put 2 fingers on the planchette and we're gonna move it counterclockwise 3 times in circular motions. So we gotta kind of get it started up a little bit.
You gotta get it started. Gotta get it moving.
And we stop in the middle. If there are any spirits present with us right now,
I thought you were supposed to do the whole thing like when you say
please
hello.
move this
There was like an
planchette.
activation phrase to it.
Sometimes you get stuff, sometimes you don't.
Alpha Beryllium.
This time happened to be one of those times where we didn't get anything. We tried, we gave it about 15-20 minutes. So we decided to wrap it up for the evening.
Thank God.
It has been a crazy long day. We drove like 4 hours to get out of here, but I'm really happy that we did. We've gotten some pretty cool stuff.
What is up with
so
this
far on
camera?
I think the door thing is the craziest thing we got so far in here. We've watched that back about 20 times already. It's insane. And the fact that like this place is just hundreds of years old. I've never been to a place like this before. But, it just feels weird. Like something. And this room too feels.
Yeah, and I'll give that to him. So, and you know, I know that a lot of ghost hunting is how you feel, not what you actually experience. So if you feel like there's a spirit there, then it's haunted. But I've stayed in a lot of these kind of hotels too. These really old hotels. There is something different about them, and I could see being in that situation or being in that moment where you would think that it's something going on, but it's probably more of the fact that there's bad wiring, bad plumbing, drafty windows, creaky walls. Everything makes a noise. Everything has a smell to it. Just because it's an old building. The Stanley Hotel is like a perfect example of that. Like you could never sneak up on someone to do harm at the Stanley Hotel. Like you walk a quarter of an inch and people 3 rooms away would be able to hear you walking. It's so loud there. Yeah. But don't want to take that away that yes, these places feel a certain way. They do. They definitely feel a certain way.
It's weird. I got this angel like right above me, like with this weird.
I got an EMF detector down on the floor. I actually, I put one over here because that chair in the corner feels weird to me. Mm-hmm. And this one actually, instead of beeping.
Okay, I just want to let everybody know that I'm not adjusting the brightness on this at all. This is what they're showing. This is what they decided to show, which is if you squint your eyes, you can tell that there's a floor. There's what do you call that? A baseboard right over there. And that's all. Oh, and a light underneath the door over there. That's it. That's all I can see. So he's like, there could be a ghost sitting right there in the chair, just staring at him, and you would never know.
It plays music.
Oh, here he goes. Someone's using a radio in the building. Cool. Cool. And if anybody's wondering what I'm talking about, it's been proven that those EMF detectors are set off by radios and like walkie-talkies. Been proven. There was actually a really great the Ghoul Boys, Ryan and Shane on Watcher. Love their shit. But the one little thing that happened to Shane, and he was like, "Hey, oh my God, this spirit box or this EMF detector keeps going off," and Ryan's like, "Yeah, you're using the walkie-talkie. Stop using the walkie-talkie, and it'll stop going off." It's like, how can you trust that then? Like, if your radio sets it off, how are you sure that there's nobody else with radios within like a quarter mile of you or a mile of you? A lot of radios go 3 miles. I think there's some that go like 5. So like, you'd have to be absolutely sure that there were no walkie-talkies within like a 5-mile radius of you to set off your EMF detector. It's just dumb.
That's not f***ing cool.
Oh, and it's one of those, I know what those are. Is it EMF or is it motion? I thought that was motion detected. I think it's there's one that's like shaped like a coffin, and it's got a music box on it so that every time something passes in front of it, it goes off.
Yo.
I want to see which one it is. Is it EMF or motion? Bro. That's a cool chair though. I want the chair. Nope. No, that's motion. That's a motion detector. I've seen these before. These are not EMF. Or do they make 2 different ones? I could be wrong. Maybe they make one that looks exactly like it but uses EMF. But the one that I've seen looks exactly like this is motion detected. And again, with motion detection, there's a slew of different issues with that. And the one that they use in that is the really cheap version that can pick up motion from angles because it's looking at it's a weird type of interference. So it's known to bounce off walls and stuff, and it's looking for changes. So if something changes on the wall, like him moving around, or if there's a mirrors set these things off if someone's on the other side. These things are highly inaccurate if it's the motion activated one. If it's EMF,
Things go nuts.
I thought for certain Tanner had heard the EMF detector going off, and he was coming over to see what was going on.
it looks like a motion activated one, but
I couldn't have expected in a million years that I would have opened up that door and he was dead asleep across the room. I heard a knock clear as day.
Okay.
Yo, come in, bro.
Yo, you heard that?
And I do want to know, in an old place, what could possibly cause knocking in the walls? You know, like pipes. All right. And just a little information, like where I'm at is I'm in our basement. And literally right there, you can't see it in here though, but like right over there, that's the main drain pipe for the house, for the entire house. It goes right over there. And right above me, there are tons of pipes that go to the bathroom that's right there. And then out over there, all the drain pipes are not the drain pipes, but the water pipes feed to the upstairs bathrooms. And I can sit down here and I know exactly when the kids are taking showers or baths. I can tell based on how much knocking occurs from the pipes. And this is it's a 40-year-old house or something like that. You know, built in the 90s. Is that right? Holy crap, how old am I? It's not 40 years old. It's old though. Like 30. Anyways, it's an old house. It's 30 years old. And yeah, the pipes I think are pretty new actually, because this was all refurbished like 10 years ago. And but you can sit there and you can hear it, and it's like it's all the pipes as they're heating up or and contracting. They're just hitting inside the thing. So the knocks, the EMP burst, that you know, apparently there's a nuclear detonation around and they need an EMF detector for that. I don't know. I'm just making up stuff because it just fits their narrative. Seriously, let's go with their verdict, because here's my verdict. You got crappy cameras, so there's no footage that you actually saw other than the door close, which I think was an auto door closer. Or it's a 150 plus year building and the frame's out of whack and it just opened violently, got stuck on something and opened violently. Don't know, wasn't there. They didn't investigate it. They didn't check it. They didn't even move the door again to try to replicate the issue. So you can't even, there's nothing to go by on that. You had a knock, which I think was a pipe. You had the heat spots coming from a really, really bad thermal camera. And that's why the false color thermal cameras are they can show you stuff that's not there. There's, in my mind, there's no evidence at this place. And I've seen this before, this building before. I didn't think there was evidence at the other locations as well. These guys didn't fact check a single thing. It didn't shock me though. Not surprised. Let's see what's
So one final question. Do I think this place is haunted?
Nope.
Without a doubt.
Yeah, I do.
Why?
The amount of evidence that we captured on camera, there's no explanation for a lot of these things that were
Really?
going on in there. The knock on the door, the EMF detector going off on its own, the door swinging while we were doing the spirit box. I'm just happy that we got it all on camera because, yeah, this was definitely one of those places.
Cool. Wait a minute, but you guys forgot the maid, the demonic maid face that you saw. Did you throw that evidence out?
There's the hangers from Ghost Adventures.
Yeah.
You remember when Buddy was scared from the hangers?
Yeah.
Uh-oh. They're coming, Zach.
All right. So, yeah, there's that. So do I think this place is haunted? No. No, not one bit. And I'm not against the idea of a place being haunted. But, and I've seen evidence that I looked at and went, wow, that's good. There's some stuff that I still look back on and go, I can't debunk it. I wasn't there, so I can't say, yes, that's real evidence. But that one, you don't have to be there to realize that's not real evidence. And it was weird. It's like they almost just kind of stayed for the night in a hotel room and were there for like 3 hours and got that weird evidence. I mean, fair enough. You can't always get access to a place, full access to a place. They're not going to shut down a hotel for a lot of these guys. And I know they're trying, but I also think too that, like, take a look at the evidence that you're finding. If you're not debunking yourself, then your evidence is kind of flimsy. So, anyways, well, that was it. Guys, thanks for watching. We're going to try to do this once a week where we're watching some video and debunking it, you know, sarcastically. Maybe put some humor in there eventually. But, yeah, if you got this far, make sure you like and subscribe. And thanks very much. And I'll see you later.